Be careful what you listen to. Be careful what you watch. Be careful what you feed your mind on a daily basis, because you are literally feeding your subconscious. And what you feed your subconscious, subconscious, subconscious mind. I just tweaked. I totally tweaked. What I'm trying to say is, whatever you feed your subconscious mind is literally how you're living your life and what you're putting out into the world. And through the law of attraction, whatever you put out into the world is literally what you get back into your life. Oh my God, isn't that like tiring? We really don't realize the little things that make all the difference. First of all, let's talk about heartbreak. When you go through a heartbreak, you want to just listen to heartbreak songs, right? Because man, you feel it in your heart. Oh my God, I've just been heartbroken. This song is speaking to me. And I'm feeling all the feelings. I'm in my feelings and I want to hear all this music. Okay, cool. What we don't realize though is that when you're going through it, obviously, in order to heal, you need to feel 100%. Feel what you need to feel. But at some point, you need to move forward, right? And if you continue feeding your mind with even more heartbreak, you're going to continue feeling more heartbreak, right? Have you ever noticed, like, when you're in the car, for example, and you're just like, jam into like a Beyonce song, all the single ladies, all the single ladies, or any kind of like hip hop dance music, you're just like, yeah, yeah, you're jamming and you're just in a good mood. And next thing you know, a sad song comes on and you're like, you know, you could easily record a music video in your car with like tears, and if it's raining outside, somebody could be recording from the outside in, and you're just like in your feels, okay, right? And then a gangster rap song comes on, and you just feel like you're in the hood. You just feel like you are hood. I am what's up. You see what I'm saying? And it's like all of these things are literally feeding your mind. And so what I'm trying to say is, based on whatever you're listening to, you are literally matching that energy, and everything is energy. So we literally need to be careful what we're listening to, what we're watching, right? We've been so conditioned since we were little that, like, all these novelas and all these movies and, toxic relationships and love is meant to hurt and all these things, we have been literally conditioned to believe all of these things because of the things that we watch and because of the things that the media has told us to believe. Subconsciously, it's literally, I'm saying literally a lot, oh my God, but it literally is how we're living our lives based on the things that we watched growing up, based on the things that we were kind of brainwashed to believe when we were little, right? So if you want to see your life better, you need to listen to better things. I've told people, tell me what you're watching, tell me what you listen to, and I will tell you who you are and how you're living your life. It's that simple. All right. Now let's talk about me for a little bit. So I've been putting things into practice, right? And something that I'm really focused on right now is like the Stoic way of thinking, where everything starts with you, right? And I've been listening a lot to Neville Goddard, and I'm listening to the power of manifestation and the law of attraction, more than anything, the law of assumption. But I feel like they go hand in hand. They're not exactly the same, but they go hand in hand. I'm noticing so many differences in my life. It's crazy. Okay. So back in the day, I've talked to you guys about when I went through my depression years ago. Oh my God, it's probably like 6 or 7 years ago at this point. Hold on. Guys, isn't my cup super cute? Oh my God, I feel like royalty. Mm. So I've told you guys about when I went through a depressive moment in my life. I had depression, anxiety. It was horrible. It's something that I would never wish upon anyone. And the way that I made it out of that, and that's actually why I started my YouTube channel as well, because I wanted to help people, because I wanted to not only consume, but I wanted to share how I made it out of that rut, right? A big part of it was watching motivational videos. It was that time is when I was introduced to Les Brown. I was introduced to Tony Robbins. Who else? Uh, Eric Thomas, David Goggins, so many people that motivate you to just keep moving forward. You have to hustle, you have to work, you have to keep moving forward towards what you want, right? And if you don't work, nothing happens, right? And I think honestly, right now, I'm kind of entering my soft girl era, kind of, sort of, because of what I'm listening to. But during that time, I got into go mode. I got into hustle mode. I got into a mode where if I wasn't productive, I felt guilty. And I still go through it to this day. Not saying that what I listened to was bad. I think it was crucial for me to listen to that to get to the point of not being in that depression anymore. I do believe there's clinical depression, but I feel like a lot of the depression that we go through is also because maybe we're bored. Do you know what I mean? You're not doing enough with your life. You need to get up and get out and get going and focus on your goals as opposed to sitting there and focusing on your depression and being sad. And this is not me discounting anybody's feelings or what's that word? Invalidating or unvalidating anybody's feelings. This is just me saying for certain people, sometimes it's a matter of getting up and getting out. Do you know what I mean? And I think it made a huge difference in my life. I had to listen to that during that time in my life, and I'm so grateful for it. But I also feel that because of that being part of it, I got into a toxic productivity kind of era in my life where I just had to be productive all the time to not feel guilty about not making the most out of every minute of every day, right? And if I wanted to be somewhere, I had to work for it hardcore. But what I'm learning now is that when you're always go 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 chasing after that goal, something that's very big with I think it's Neville Goddard. I think that's his name. Hold on. See, Neville Goddard. You have to assume yourself in the possession of that which you want without fault. Okay. So it's not a thing of saying, I want this, because the feeling of wanting is the feeling of lack. So you're basically telling yourself and telling the universe, I want this because I don't have it. Right. So you have to say, am, I am in possession of all which I desire. Right. So whatever it is that you want, you have to assume yourself in the possession of that. Right. And so it's kind of a mind change that I'm going through right now, but I'm constantly feeding myself with his content. And because through the law of assumption, I am assuming that I have that which, you know, I'm assuming I have in my present. And through that, you are also activating the law of attraction to work in your favor because you're putting out there that which you already have in assumption. Does that make sense? I'm entering this era where I'm just like, everything that I want, I already have. You know what I mean? I already have it. It's already here. It just has to come and meet me, right? I have to just reach that vibration. Okay. So it's a vibrating thing. And I know it can sound a little contradictory, but it makes a lot of sense in my head. So I'm working towards things, but I'm not hustling like crazy because I believe that I already have them, and that belief that you already have them, you start to act as if, right? You don't, it's not that thought of, I want to have this. I want to be that person. I am that person, right? You assume I am that person, kind of sort of fake it till you make it, right? I am that person. And because I am that person, I have to behave this way. And I have to do these things because I already am that person. And so I'm really feeding myself with these things. And I'm seeing a lot of changes, you know, in my life, in my health. And I'm just like, I like this. So I'm like, I'm going to continue working on it. Right. And when it comes to like the Stoic mindset, it's like everything and starts and ends with you, right? Focus on yourself. Focus on being the best version of yourself day in and day out as much as you possibly can. And things will come to you, right? Whatever is meant to come to you will come to you. You don't have to go out there chasing after anything. Obviously, yeah, put the work in, but it's not I'm putting the work in because I'm chasing after this thing. When you're chasing after something, it's because it's running away from you, right? Basically, what I'm trying to tell you guys is you have to be careful what you're putting into your mind. In my last video, I talked about the power of discernment more than anything with people, right? But you also have to have the power of discernment with the things that you are consuming on a daily basis. Do you wake up in the morning and automatically go on social media, right? That's consumption. Okay, consumption of content that is probably not necessarily good for you, because a lot of the time what's entertaining what's fun to watch is not necessarily what's good for us. And a lot of the time, those things that are good for us are not entertaining to watch. And in some way or another, we have to figure it out. How can we make it entertaining? But going back to what I was saying, do you wake up in the morning and automatically go to social media? As opposed to waking up in the morning and just being grateful to be here, being grateful to open your eyes, grateful to take a breath, being able to walk, being able to see, being able to, so many little things that we don't think about. Like I always tell people that are going through things, stop listening to things that don't matter. If you're going, like I get going back to heartbreak, if you're listening to heartbreak music and you're trying to move on and you're trying to be happier, if you reach a level of happy and you start listening to sad songs, you're gonna go right back down to that vibration of sadness and heartbreak, and that's not where you want to be. If that's not where you want to be, if you want to be vibrating here, but you're listening to music that's bringing you down to a whole vibration that you don't want to be at, what are you doing? Do you know what I mean? There's so much music out there that's motivational, so much music out there that's like, what's that song? I'm loving me, right? I'm working on my energy. So many different songs that could like pump you up and motivate you to be better. But no, we're constantly focused on sad music, sexual songs, violence. Like, come on, guys, we have to put in that work for ourselves. It may not be as fun sometimes, it may not be as, ooh, gut wrenching, but do you really want to wrench your guts? Do you know what I mean? Like, no, I personally want to be peaceful. I personally want to be happy. I want to be the best version of myself that I can be on a daily basis. Like, and I know that every so often it's okay to listen to these things, but don't let that be your foundation. Don't let that go all the way into your subconscious thoughts, because the more that you listen to something, the more that it feeds your mind, right? For example, I wake up in the morning and I'm a firm believer in God. I listen to a gratitude video on YouTube. And here's the thing: your phone already knows you. It knows your algorithm. So first thing in the morning, I wake up and I thank God for waking me up another day. And from there I start, my normal routine. I go on YouTube and the first video that pops up is a prayer video, a morning prayer video, thanking God for another day. I listen to that, and right after that I get Neville Goddard, the next video, and then after that I get a Stoic video. Do you see? Like, your phone knows you, and it's crazy. It's kind of creepy actually, but I personally like the fact that it's these things that my phone is feeding me, right? Because I've programmed my phone into feeding me things that will program my mind. Ooh, girl, it's just a whole cycle, right? So those are the things that I'm feeding myself. Like, you have to really think about what you want. What do you want to attract? Who do you want to become? Who are you at this moment? Like, who are you right now and who do you want to be? How do you get there? What are the steps to take? And a lot of those things start with what you're listening to and what you're watching. It's so simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. But that's all I got to say. Just, if you want to improve your life, you have to take accountability for yourself, and you need to take into account what you're listening to, what you're watching, what you're feeding your mind on a daily basis, because that is what's feeding your subconscious. And whatever you're feeding your subconscious, whatever's there, is going to program your thoughts. Your thoughts are going to program your actions, and your actions will program the consequences, the events that happen in your life, right? And all of those things come right back to you and how you feel. Okay, so you have a lot of influence over your life. Don't forget that. Keep that in mind. And yeah, that's all I got. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. If you enjoy these videos of self-improvement, feeling better about yourself, definitely subscribe, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.